Hey everyone, so this is the second time I've filmed this. It's a Bookish Tag video, which is just showing, there's like 13 questions and I'm just going to tell you my answer to the questions. Ali from Winged Reviews did a Bookish Tag and she tagged everyone who watched it to do theirs and with their answers to the questions, so I thought I would do one. I've already filmed this, but I missed a question out and didn't realise until afterwards, so I'm doing it again. The first question is, what genre of book do you prefer? I have a lot of different favourite genres, and it's paranormal romance, urban fantasy, dystopian and chick lit are my 4 favourite ones. I can never choose between them because it really depends on what mood I'm in to what I read. So I have all those different ones, but I really like, I've really started liking sci-fi books as well. I read Glow, which was sort of set in space, and I really enjoyed that. What are some of the must-have books in your library? I would have to say The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games is brilliant. I love The Hunger Games. This was the first book, the first dystopian book I read, so they always sort of hold a special place in my heart. I love them, they're brilliant. Obsidian is one. This is a must read, it's absolutely brilliant. And another is Half-Blood, which is by the same author. She's brilliant. If you haven't read anything by her, I would highly suggest it. She's just fantastic. And another one that I would say is a must-have, Morganville Vampires by Rachel Caine. It's a brilliant series and it's my favourite vampire series, so I do really love that. What is the most expensive book on your shelf? I had no idea what the most expensive book on my shelf was, and it turns out, which shouldn't have been a surprise really, The Complete Works of William Shakespeare. I've had this for about 3 years and I still haven't read it because it's just huge and you can only really read a little bit at a time because it just gets a bit too much sometimes. Question 4. What book do you covet the most? I take this as Ali took it, and is what book do you want the most? It's not even out, but that would be Onyx by Jennifer Armentrout, which comes after Obsidian, because it's just brilliant and I can't wait to see what happens. Question 5. How much do you spend on books? I would say too much. I don't actually know, but I'm on a book buying ban at the minute to save up for my holiday to Paris, and in the past 4 months I've saved about £300. I don't think I spent all of that on books because I have stopped buying pretty much everything. So I stopped buying DVDs, CDs, books, anything that I didn't really need. So I really don't know how much I spent on books. Question 6. What do you think about the current trend in young adult books? I have no problem with it. As you can probably see from the books behind me, I read a lot of young adult books, so it's more books for me to read and enjoy, so I don't find a problem with it. Question 7. What series do you wish you had more books on? That series, I chose 2 because 1, I have already read all of them, I just don't own them. That one's the Fever series, one of my favourite series, and I just wish I had them all so that I could reread and everything. So I only have this one, but it's a really great series and I love it. One series that I wish I had more of that I haven't read all of is Skull Screamers. I just have this omnibus with the prequel book 1 and 2. I've read book 1, I still need to read book 2, and I really enjoyed it, so I really wish I had more of this series to read. Question 8. What are your go-to books in your library? My go-to books, which probably isn't a surprise, is the Jennifer Armentrout ones. This is the prequel to Half-Blood. They're my go-to books because I just think they're brilliant, and if I'm in a reading rut, they're what I go to. But I also have P.S. I Love You because I just love it. This was the first book I ever loved, and Lucy in the Sky, which was the second book I ever read and loved. So if I'm in a reading rut, I like to go back to those and read those, and they get me out of my reading rut. Question 9. What book is currently in your bag? I don't have a book in my bag. I have my Kindle in my bag, but I'm reading a book called Pandora's Key, which is a mythology type book, and I have that for review. So I'm hoping to have that finished in a few days. Question 10, what is the most prized book in your collection? I would say it's the Jennifer L. Armentrout books, especially Obsidian. The new version of Obsidian is coming out in May. I already have it pre-ordered, even though I'm on a book buying ban. But my birthday is in May, so it's my present to myself. So they're my most prized books, because I just think they're brilliant, and she's such a brilliant author. Question 11, what are some non-fiction books on your shelf? I have quite a few, but there are a lot of psychology books, but I find them really well. And please don't judge me by what I'm going to show you, because one of them is really not a book you want to admit you own. One of them is a dictionary of psychology that I use all the time. I'm constantly looking stuff up, even though I've almost finished my degree. The Essential Difference by Simon Baron-Cohen. This is about the difference in male and female brains, and it's really interesting. I read that in about a day. I couldn't put it down. This is the one I would never have wanted to admit, and it's Sperm Wars, which is the psychology of relationships and how they're the same in humans and primates and stuff, and it's a really bad name. It's a fascinating book, but would you really want to name your book that? It's a shocking name for a book. Question 12, what are your 3 favourite authors? Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is obvious. Cecilia Ahern, I love her. I've read every single book of hers and they're brilliant. And Paige Toon, I've read half of her books. I still need to read the others, but I've loved all of them. Cecilia Ahern and Paige Toon are my 2 favourite chick lit authors, and I just love Jennifer L. Armentrout. She's just brilliant. And the last question, question 13, is what is your favourite bookstore? Mine would have to be Waterstones. I don't shop there a lot anymore. I usually get books off the Book Depository and Amazon, but I really like going in and just being able to sort of like pick a book up and take it home and not have to wait for it to be delivered. So I love going in Waterstones and just looking around, and yeah, Waterstones is my favourite bookstore. So that's it for the Bookish Tag. I'm going to do the same and tag anyone who watches this to do a Bookish Tag of their own. I'll leave the questions down below so that you can see what they are, and I hope you do a Bookish Tag video so I can watch yours. Thanks for watching. Bye!